Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW.
New details tonight on a developing story we've been following out of Moorhead. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. We're learning more about the two men arrested last night during a standoff in Moorhead with law enforcement. Hector Antonio Flores and Hector Lionel Flores have been in and out of prison for years and have served time for some serious felonies. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson has been investigating all day and joins us live with new information. Nicole, what can you tell us?
The two brothers may have a gang affiliation, but when I asked Moorhead police about it, they couldn't comment. The jail staff in Moorhead told me they know the two well since they were in their teens. 36-year-old Hector Antonio Flores was wanted by police for attempted murder. Back in 2004, he shot another man at a Moorhead house party. The bullet hit the victim in the hand after he moved to protect his chest. Flores also went to prison for robbery, selling drugs, domestic assault, having a gun illegally, terroristic threats, and escaping from custody. His brother, 38-year-old Hector Lionel Flores, was wanted on a drug warrant. He's gone to prison before for multiple assaults, running from police, escaping custody, giving officers a fake name, and according to court documents, he's the one who was living in the home where the standoff began. Right now, the two are being held in jail on the arrest warrants. The Street Crimes Unit and U.S. Marshals had been running surveillance on them. We don't know what charges they'll face from the standoff last night. We're told the attorneys have to look over what happened and decide.
All right, thanks so much, Nicole. 5 people were arrested last night, but 3 of them were let go. There was also an 8-year-old in the house. Police say they got the child out first before arresting the others. Police also found guns, a bat, and a small amount of drugs inside the home. Coming up after weather, is there a new TV crew in town? We uncover the truth behind this van. Also, it's a love triangle gone wrong. Why this Valley City man used his truck as a weapon. But first, it was a quiet start to our November. Nice temperatures for most of us in the valley. Feeling quite warm for November.
Not too bad out there. The clouds did hang on a little bit longer than we anticipated, but that still allowed temperatures to warm on up with that late day sunshine. Tomorrow, a touch warmer and even warmer as we wrap up the week and head on into the weekend. Right now, though, not very warm. Temperatures on the chilly side with temperatures in the upper 30s into some lower 40s. 39 right now in Bemidji and Wadena, 37 in Roseau. It's 41 degrees here in the Fargo-Moorhead area, also 41 up in the Langdon area. Wind speeds, they're on the light side. They're going to remain light as we head through the overnight hours tonight and through the day on Wednesday. Cloud cover, we had a lot of it earlier. That has gone out of here, but more on the way, and we'll see clouds on the increase as we head through the overnight hours. We'll start off the day tomorrow with partly to mostly cloudy skies, and then we'll see decreasing clouds once again as we head through the latter half of your Wednesday. Underneath what clouds we do have, no precipitation out there, none anticipated as we head through tonight. In fact, it looks like a very quiet time of it as we head through the next 4 or 5 days. We are seeing some rain showers down in parts of South Dakota, down into parts of Nebraska and Iowa, stretching back towards the west. It changes to snow in some of the higher elevations of Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, Idaho, and even western parts of Montana. A few showers down near the El Paso area and off towards the east. Much of the country quiet until you get into the northeastern U.S., where we're seeing some rain showers as we head through the overnight hours tonight. Again, we'll see some clearing skies, and then those clouds will start to increase once again from west to east, and already seeing that in a few locations as we head through the day. Again, we'll see some clouds early on, then decreasing clouds, those winds early on out of the south, shifting to the north later on in the day. We'll see temperatures warming on up into the 50s in most locations, hanging on to some 40s across the far north. And as we head through the latter half of the evening and on into the overnight hours, temperatures cooling by the 10 o'clock hour into the 30s across the north and the mid to upper 40s across the south. Here in Fargo, we'll start off the day right around 40 degrees. Those winds on the light side out of the south and southwest by lunchtime, warming on up to right around 50, and later on in the day with decreasing clouds and more sun than clouds by later on in the day. Temperatures getting on into the mid 50s. Picture of the day, a gorgeous shot, a peaceful Lindenwood Park here in Fargo. Thanks to Steve for sending that in. We're going to use that at the background of our 7-day forecast. Yeah, and it's going to be a pretty tranquil one as we head through the next 7 days. Mid 50s Wednesday, upper 50s Thursday, into the 60s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tailgating before the YSU Penguin game looks good. And a reminder, turn those clocks back before you head to bed Saturday night.
Get that extra hour of sleep.
I'm getting choked up
I know,
just thinking
you're
about
like,
it.
"Oh, should get a glass of water." Where is it?
I'm good.
Okay, good. Well, thanks, Robert.
You got it.
Well, if you live in North Fargo, you may have seen an out-of-the-ordinary TV crew on your block. Neighbors living on 26th Street North in Fargo contacted us about a Channel 69 news van parked on their street. Residents are concerned because they didn't know who the van belonged to and that it's been sitting there for the past few weeks.
Just about everybody on the street has small children that walk to school, walk from school. Kids play outside, they ride their bikes. And to think that somebody could just be waiting to just take one of them, it's not a good idea. Like somebody needs to figure out who it belongs to and do something about it.
Rest assured, there's not a new TV station in the FM area. We spoke with a man who lives on the street, and as it turns out, the car belongs to his son and was used as a part of the Fargo South Homecoming Parade. He said they are planning on painting over the writing.
When declared a mass casualty, they do a diplomatic unit.
It literally looks like a bomb exploded in the bus, and it's catastrophic damage.
At this hour, an investigation continues just outside of Baltimore after a deadly early morning crash between a commuter bus and a school bus. Twisted metal and shattered glass littered this 2-lane road in Maryland. 6 people died in the accident and at least 10 people were rushed to a nearby hospital. Luckily, there were no children on the school bus. Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused the crash. A Valley City man has been arrested after police say he used his truck as a weapon in a love triangle gone wrong. 43-year-old Tim Johnson is facing second-degree felony assault charges for ramming his F-150 pickup into another man's car and injuring him. Moorhead police say Johnson was upset about his new girlfriend's former boyfriend. Police say the girlfriend and her ex agreed to meet up to exchange property. Police say that's when Johnson rammed his pickup into the former boyfriend's car. His condition is still unknown. 50-year-old Stephen Mirading of Minneapolis has pleaded guilty to 1 count of sex trafficking after police say he brought her to Fargo and sold a 17-year-old girl for sex on Backpage.com. Police say Mirading met the girl at a gas station in Minneapolis and brought her to his home to take photos of her. Those pictures were later used as advertisements for sex on Backpage.com. The Fargo Police Department got involved when they found the 17-year-old runaway during a traffic stop. And now onto a Valley News Live exclusive. 2 Minnesota parents are very angry and warning others to be aware after they say a man answered the door to trick-or-treaters while naked. It happened about 6:30 last night on Riverside Avenue in Park Rapids, Minnesota. A parent was with the children and reported it to police right away. She says it ruined the evening for the 3 children.
And before you know it, my daughter and her friend start screaming at my little daughter saying, "Don't go up there, don't go up there, come on, come on, come on." So they came running back and I said, what happened? And my daughter was terrified, my daughter and her friend. They said, "The man answered the door naked, he was naked."
Park Rapids police say even in your own home, a person can face indecent exposure charges if had clear intent. We will bring you more as it becomes available. The North Dakota Highway Patrol is trying to figure out who splashed motor oil on and near the state capitol building. Highway Patrol says video surveillance from last night shows 2 people pouring oil on the property. Lieutenant Tom Iverson says the vandals also placed a sign nearby that says you can't drink oil. Video shows the 2 dressed in black carrying the oil and sign. Iverson says the incident is uncalled for and the cleanup took several hours. He says there's definitely a connection to the pipeline protest, but isn't comfortable saying demonstrators are responsible.
There's definitely a connection with the No DAPL cause, or at least a connection with those that are against oil. I mean, someone that leaves a sign on scene that says you can't drink oil, and we've seen much of that same rhetoric from those that are protesting the DAPL pipeline.
Highway Patrol asks anyone with information to call 701-328-2455. And the Dakota Access Pipeline protests are costing the state a lot of money. Today, the North Dakota Emergency Commission approved a plan to borrow even more money to cover the costs. The Emergency Commission requested a $6 million loan back in mid-September. Today, they approved a plan to borrow another $4 million. The loan will come from the Bank of North Dakota, and it's estimated to cover costs associated with the protests through December 1st. Most of the money will go toward covering personnel costs, but also toward paying the federal government for equipment the state has borrowed, such as Humvees and helicopters. Governor Jack Dalrymple says the state will look to all of those involved for reimbursing the funds.
Obviously, we have to put the money forward as it's needed, and we realize that it's not going to appear as we go. But I think the federal government, the tribe, the company are all, good possibilities for significant reimbursement of costs.
Members of the Emergency Commission expressed a willingness to keep approving emergency funding as needed to keep everyone involved safe. Be sure to watch Valley News Live 10 at 10 for Restaurant Report Card. We take you out to one of the newest restaurants in the Valley that has 3 distinct dining areas and is also this week's Clean Plate Award winner. Coming up on Valley News Live, we're exactly 1 week away from Election Day. We're investigating how officials are securing your vote.